Hey, what's up, my good people? It's your boy, Pankey IBFLB. Once again, it's a beautiful day, you know. Thanks to God, it's a beautiful Thursday. And today, there's a big quarterfinals of Coppa Italia. So, we're gonna enjoy a big live stream Atalanta versus Juventus watch along together till the end, man. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? So, like I always do, the first thing I do is welcoming you all, man. Big up to everyone who has been, enjoying my live streams. Today is another day. Like I say, I'm gonna be doing this like every single day. Beautiful match will lock in, all right? And tomorrow, don't forget, Leeds is gonna face Nottingham Forest, if I'm not wrong. So we're gonna be here again. So without wasting time, I'm gonna create a poll, man. I'm gonna create a poll. You know, will Atalanta supporting Juventus though? You know, Juventus. Will Atalanta beat Juventus? Juventus Turin. Will Atalanta beat Juventus at home? At home. Oh no, the game is happening at New Balance Stadium, not at home. It's a general. If I'm not wrong, it's a general stadium. Will Atalanta beat Juventus? That's the poll. So, if you are new to this live stream of mine, all we do here is we enjoy, watch along football. Yeah. Also, yeah, I always put a poll so people can interact like a community. You get to know who is supporting who is supporting who, okay? And also get to enjoy the game, man. React on the goals that are being scored in the game. I hope today is gonna be a big day. Of course, it's a big day, but I hope the match will be interesting. So after the poll is in, like I say, I vote no. I vote no. Let me tell you to vote. 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 So if you're watching this, make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. Make sure you vote, man. I haven't checked the. Let me. Before we get to the starting 11 for both of the teams, let me share my screen first before I get to check on something. Yeah. Before I get to the lineup, give me a minute. Let me check on something first before we keep going. Okay. Just hold your horses. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Let me see. Let me see. Network is a bit shaky, man. Don't know what's happening. Oh my goodness. The title really. Oh no. Let me edit. Let me edit this. A minute, please. Before we get to the the starting 11, because it's now 5 minutes. 5 minutes to the game. So if you are watching right now, sorry, let's go. Let me stop what I'm doing. Let me focus here. All right. Like I said, it's 5 minutes to the game. I'd like us to analyze the game together. Okay. To analyze the game together. Okay. Let me go. Let me start with Atalanta. We have from their goalkeeper, Kanesechi, will be their goalkeeper tonight. Scalvini, Dimisti, and Ahnor. Those three will be the defenders of Atalanta tonight. Zabacosta, Dimon, Ederson, and Bernasconi will be their 4 midfielders. For the attackers, we have, can I say the forward? We have Raspadori and the Ketelaere. Those are 2 forwards, and 1 striker by the name Skamaka. All right. I hope we're together till there. So we get to the Juventus Turin. We have Perin will be the goalkeeper for Juventus tonight. Kelly, Bremer, and Gatti will be their defenders. For the midfield, I'm sorry. For the midfield, they have Kalulu, Locatelli, Thuram Ulien, and Cambiaso. Let me spell it properly the way it should be. Cambiaso. All right. Cambiaso will be their those 4 will be their midfielders, and the forward we have the wingers. Let me say the wingers. Consecao as from the right wing, and McKennie from the left wing. For the striker, they have J. David. Nice. It's gonna be fire. So for Atalanta, they are using a formation of 3-4-2-1. And for Juventus, the same way, 3-4-2-1. So I think they are both playing, using the same formation tonight. Not different. For Atalanta, let me go and tell you the substitute tonight. We have Francisco Rosai, Marcos Potiello, Odilon Kosonou, Isakien, Raul Belanova, Michel Baca, Said Kalasnak, Yunus Musa, Mario Pasalic, Lazar Samazik. Oh, what a name, man. Nikola Zalewski, Kamaldin Sulemana, Nikola Kristovic. And the head coach is Rafael Palladino. Good one. Let me go to the substitute of Juventus Turin. Get to know who do they have in the substitute. For Juventus, they have Michel Di Gregorio, Carlo Pensoglio, Emil Holm, Juan Cabal, Twain Kopmenes, Edon Zegrova, Jeremy Boga, Vasile Adzik, Fabio Miretti, Kenan Yildiz, Philip Kostic, and Luis Openda. Nice, I love it. And their head coach tonight is Luciano Spalletti. Wow. Let's get do it. I think the game has just started right about now. Right about now. Right about now. Right, because it's already Kenya time. It's 11. That's the time that the game should start. And like I said, the game is on air right about now. So lock in, make sure you like and sub, make sure you like and sub so you get to enjoy this game tonight together. You're gonna enjoy this game together.
Bergamo in der Offensive ohne Lookman. Der Umbruch in Bergamo geht Schritt für Schritt weiter. Der nächste Schritt Richtung Finale am 13. Mai soll heute gemacht werden in diesem Coppa Viertelfinale gegen Juve. Aber klar, die alten.
Strong.
Dame in den schwarz-weißen Trikots von rechts nach links. Gleich mal mit der ersten Aktion nach 8 Sekunden möchte eben auch nach oben. Bitte mal, Kevin Tyrann. Das geht schnell. Sehr starker Ball.
1 minute is in. 2 minutes to miss.
Bei der Ballannahme.
Thuram. Let's see what's gonna happen. Will Juventus win tonight? Let's wait and see. What's wrong with my network tonight, man? It's bad, it's terrible.
Nach hinten abgelegt, Locatelli abgeblockt, also die Juve weiß ganz genau, was sie will. Von Anfang an hier das Spiel bestimmen.
Vote.
Gianni Spalletti im Oktober ja von Igor tut. Das Team übernommen. Der Kroate hat bei Turin nicht funktioniert. Auf der anderen Seite war bei Bergamo ja auch ein Kroate im Markt. Nämlich Ivan Juric. Auch das hat nur bis November gehalten. Dann kam Raffaele Palladino. Also die beiden Trainer vom Balkan haben jetzt nicht den besten Eindruck, zumindest in dieser Saison hier, hinterlassen. Tudor als Spieler ja lange bei Turin gewesen, hat dann doch mehr den Legendenstatus.
Atalanta with the ball.
Zappacosta, der hat in Italien sowieso einen Legendenstatus. Kann überall spielen, rechts wie links, jetzt die Flanke zu Raspadori. Hat wahrscheinlich eher Scamacca gesucht. Und Umschaltsituation für Juve klappt nicht. Das ist Raphael.
Let's go, Juve.
Er hat gesagt, wir wollen den Titel gewinnen. Ganz klar, um die Meisterschaft spielen wir wahrscheinlich nicht mehr mit. Champions League, ja, ist noch nicht unbedingt der Favorit, aber nach den vergangenen furiosen Jahren ist
space to Iti, Kelly with the block, that's Zahanor. Edison gets there first, then Rasconi, good spell now for Ladea. Raspadori, De Ketelada, beaten to by Kelly, Sarama's found David, and now McKennie. Cambiaso breaking forward.
Juventus, let's go.
Cambiaso. Tracked by Dero. Scalvini. Cashel from the captain.
Nice.
Edison does the tidying up. Reminder, the winner tonight will play whoever comes out on top next week.
The quarterfinals.
Between the holders, Bologna and Lazio. Lazio beat Milan in the round of 16. We've already got one team safely through to a two-legged semi-final. That's Inter. Defeated Torino last night at Monza. Knicks will play either Napoli or Como, who face one another on Tuesday in the Maradona. Cavani had an excellent game at Como the weekend, including keeping out last-minute penalty from Nico Pass. Could be relevant if this game is level after 90 minutes, but would go straight to a shootout. That rule is in force until the semi-finals of the competition. Dero. Scalvini now. Here's Scamacca. Costa. To Ketelada, running in Kelly. To Ketelada delivers. Kalulu able to watch it out for a goal kick. Slightly overhit for once from the Belgian. They'll keep chanting this all night. Ale, aleo, Atalanta, ale, devi vincere. That was Kifrin Turan. The first minute, the first 10 seconds, believe it or not. Devi vincere simply means you have to win. Certainly true, the knockout game. More true than ever. Costa's winding up for a long one here from the looks of things. Very much back in vogue now, long throws. It down. Click forward by Cavani. Bremer keeping Scamacca quiet. Costa. Wants it back from the Ketelado. It's a good ball too. Costa.
Atalanta.
So we can get there. Bernasconi has. Bernasconi.
Atalanta on the attack.
Edison unhappy the pass didn't come sooner. Raspadori. To Ketelado. Allowed to turn. McKennie pokes it straight to Dero. Edison. Bremer there to intercept. Conceição on the move. He's been well released by the Brazilian. Chico Conceição taking on Ahanor. Conceição might have taken it out of play. It is a goal kick. Hadniseki cut out the cross in any case. But a great example there of why Bremer's one of the best defenders in Serie A, if not the best. Stepped out to intercept the ball, broke the lines with a superb pass. Conceição was away. Carnesecchi under pressure from David. And again. Avenor. Bernasconi. This time Bremer caught Scamacca. To roll this man there, sent tumbling by former Torino defender. Not sure the whole ball had necessarily crossed the line there. The officials right not to make any decision until the ball was safe in Cavaniseki's hands. To Ketelado, so hard to pick up as he tends to wander and drift. Knocked it back immediately from Zappacosta there. Gatti, good to see him fit again. Getting an opportunity now. The Juventus side is very settled, but there will be chances for the likes of Gatti with so many games coming up, 8 over the next month. Scamacca holding it up well. Now it's Zappacosta. Plenty forward here for Ladea. Zappacosta crosses over here this time. Just leave that final ball. The service hasn't been up to scratch just yet. You can see Scamacca indicating to Zappacosta just to cool it there, to calm it. Seemingly not to immediately whip the ball in.
Come on, Juventus, let's go, man.
It's going to be another long throw, albeit from the opposite side this time. Launched by Ben Masconi, flicked on by Ahanor. This is Zappacosta. Kelly away, that's Derone. Scamacca's there, but he got to it first. Zappacosta has scored for Atalanta against Juventus before. Back in March of last year, that stunning 4-0 victory. Was well on the way to Thiago Motta losing his job. He would eventually lose it after being beat by Paladino's Fiorentina. It's a shove by Pierre Kalulu. Edison. Away from Conceição, now Martin Derone. To Kittelada, Derone once more. Edison, Raspadori. Scamacca was aggressive. Played it against Conceição out of play. Atalanta now entering a new phase. Post Adamola Lookman era. Will go down as one of their finest ever players, having scored a hat-trick in the Europa League final. Now with Atletico Madrid, from where Atalanta brought in Raspadori. Locatelli away. Gym City. Nicely done. Didn't need to overhit the pass. It wasn't a difficult ball for Ben Masconi. Once he stepped away to open up the passing lane, just needed to execute. It's a rare slip from Gym City. See too much from the Bianconeri after that pretty fast start. For Thuram going close inside the first minute. We saw the Locatelli shot blocked. He scored in the previous round. And then to seeing off Udinese, Locatelli's goal came from a penalty. Ben Masconi with the throw. Locatelli up in the air. That's Ahanor. Away by Thuram. Zappacosta. Locatelli's gone down. Scalvini strikes it. There's a high move on Manuel Locatelli. He was in the middle of giving out some tactical instructions pre-match, only for Lloyd Kelly to notice that some of our camera operators were in the dressing room. Didn't want any game plan to be spoiled there on the feed. does appear very likely that Juventus will extend the Channels deal. Ciro Ferrara, the former Juventus defender, has come out and said the way Juve are playing and the results they've achieved show that a lot of work has been done. By Spalletti, he feels that current
15 minutes
coach deserves
in.
an extension whether Juventus finish in the top four or not.
Let's see what will
Both of
happen.
these sides made the Champions League last season. They're both still in the competition as well. Both have home legs second in playoff ties. Conceição looking for David, just couldn't get there in time. Stayed in play for Cambiaso. Kelly. Jonathan David. Gets us up against Galatasaray. Atalanta play Borussia Dortmund. The reason we're playing in Bergamo tonight, not Turin, is because Atalanta were third last season under Gasperini. Juventus came fourth on the final day, thanks to this man, Locatelli, scoring a match-winning penalty in Venice. That means Atalanta seated higher. Innocent, well found by Scamacca.
Atalanta on
Innocent takes it
attack.
on.
Oh, easy
Gathers it
shots.
easily. In case you're not familiar with the Coppa Italia format, previous top 8 teams are seeded from the Serie A league position. Raspadori, Scamacca now, he strikes it early. Atalanta boxing, Juventus getting more of the ball, certainly the majority of the territory too. Duro. Needs some help. Find some in the shape of.
Come on, man.
Marco Carnesecchi. Expected from Cambiaso. This was Conceição's cross and David. Having got there, just put control there, it was his head. Karma is also off against Parma. Looking Dave, goal, and the Fabini, the weekend. Locatelli. All that after giving the ball away to how costly that draw is looking now for Juventus, albeit Alex Del Piero still thinking the title race. Whilst it's mathematically possible, you need to keep believing.
Let's go.
Kelly. Zappacosta away. Kenny was offside. Onto the ball, floated over the top in any case. It's very demanding. Spalletti that knows what he wants from his team. Starting to see it as well. Real progress. Raymond has done a good job on Scamacca thus far.
Juventus, let's go, man.
Atalanta needs to be careful here. Conceição's got there. Conceição! Can this
Nice
hit you with a big
block.
save?
Juventus,
Conceição could have
oh,
sped it, but kept it around. Instead he went for himself.
yes.
That was a mistake from the teenager, Honest Atanor. A few days off from him getting sent off after being provoked by Maxi Perone of Como. Kalulu between the lines. This is Chico Conceição trying again. And this time striking the frame of the goal. He could have scored twice in the space of a minute, Chico Conceição. But he's not prolific. And that remains a flaw in his game. Struck this well. Karnesecki was beaten.
Post.
The woodwork spares Atalanta after Karnesecki had denied Conceição moments earlier. This was McKinney's long throw. Atanor caught out. Karnesecki just stood tall, stayed big, and eventually plunged at the perfect moment. Two big chances for Juventus. Spalletti will be unhappy. They're not in front here. Kelly down the line. Scalpini getting some head start on McKinney. Giorgio Scalpini. Not sure who that was to from Brenner. Locatelli picks up the loose ball. Yeah, Kalulu still not missed a single minute this season across all competitions. He's only got one yellow card, which is an astonishing record. I think it's a superb season, whether as a wingback, as he's playing tonight, or as a right fullback, as we've seen in recent times. Juventus reverting to a 4 under Spalletti. Loose by Campazzo, still runs for David. Good spot to find Kalulu, but Masconi tracked it well. That's what they call the diagonale, that diagonal defensive run on the cover. Edison wants it from Masconi. He'll get it too. Excellent ball. Edison poking it inside. That's all he can do really with that. It's around under pressure. Atalanta swarming in backs. Not seen too much of Jonathan David so far this evening. There are a couple of quirky goal scorers when these two teams met in the league. A goal from Kamaldeen Suleiman. Atalanta trying to get rid of Cabal. To Catalano. Couldn't meet it. Zappacosta did. Brennan surging away from Scamacca. David now for Kalulu. He's got Conceição ahead of him. Conceição with a corner. Better defending from Atanor.
Corner for Juventus. Let's go.
Michael Fabry just pausing proceedings. Sassi has a conversation, presumably the fourth official on the video assistant referee, perhaps. And this is why, well, did see the catch, the outstretched arm of Brenner. Did that stop the cross? Well, it certainly diverted it. Whilst the arm in an unnatural position. We're seeing a lot of these given. Just brushed his fist on the way. This will be of great concern to Juventus and of particular interest to Raffaele Palladino. Che says Spalletti, what's going on? And Armando Feliciani informs him that they're looking at a possible handball from Brenner.
Gonna be a penalty.
Based on the previous jurisprudence, I wouldn't be surprised to see an on-field review. And that's what's going to happen. Michael Fabry has been summoned. In Oslo Loro, says Raffaele Palladino. He wants to know whether his team might benefit from a penalty or whether, surprised by this, all none the wiser. Again, by the letter of the law, the arm is in an unnatural position. It leads the path of the ball. I don't think Scamacca would have got there. I think Edison's cross was particularly threatening. It was all very innocuous. However, as he debates things with Rosario Amiso, Michael Fabri will very shortly make a decision. Let's listen out to the match official.
It's gonna be a penalty. Oh my God. Holy.
Waiting for the microphone to be turned on and the loudspeakers to be boosted. Ganti saying, how else can we defend? We can't defend with our arms behind our backs. So that's something Giovanni Di Lorenzo did. Sustained looked a serious injury against Fiorentina. It is an Atalanta penalty. Brenner handling from the Henderson's cross.
Oh, it's a penalty, man.
Involved in the exchange.
Oh my God.
Debating the decision of the fourth official, but Perin now needs to step up the Juventus.
It's a penalty and they've scored, man. Oh my God. Atalanta, lucky them.
Across all competitions. Short run up, he was very confident and it showed. Perin blinked first, Scamacca went the other way. In what has been a relatively tight game so far, it's the home side who lead. Now those misses from Conceição beginning to look costly. Still a long way to go. Conceição tonight 1v1 like Kakriseki, then he hit the crossbar. It's just got louder inside New Balance Arena. Facility formerly known as Kenny Stadium to a sponsorship change. Kenny short, Cambiaso's ball in, and Brenner nearly redeemed himself. Just snuck in at the back post there. It's too high for Kefren to run there. And had he done so, would have scored. Brenner away. Edison's let it bounce. It's Davids. Edison stayed down. It's on the receiving end of that challenge from Jonathan David. Is that a penalty? I'll let you debate that at home. Certainly there were no doubts whatsoever as to the execution of the spot kick. Paladino affording himself a muted clenched fist celebration. Locatelli. Kelly, pressure, Atalanta again, squeezing with bite and intensity. Paladino did say in the lead up to this game he had an interview with the domestic broadcaster of the Coppa Italia media said that Atalanta want to go through, our aim is to go for it and to compete. It's very complimentary of Juventus. Ahanor is down for Ladea. Bianconetti in possession. Paladino wants the visitors to put it out. Kefren Turam continues. Turam, the challenge from Derone. But the whistle's gone for a free kick away of Juventus. And only now can honest Ahanor get some treatment. by Derone or Edison, one of the two. Martin Derone, for the looks of things, is booked and coma. That's why he'll serve a suspension here against Cremonese at the weekend. Ahanor, having been sent off in that same match, is also going to serve a one-match ban. So nice to see Mitchell Bakker amongst the substitutes, the Dutchman having returned from that serious ACL injury. Then again, given what's been in the news recently with American skier Lindsey Vonn competing despite having ruptured her ACL, maybe it is achievable after all. Ahanor's going to have to come off the pitch having received treatment. It does mean that Atalanta will need to defend this set piece 10v11. Cambiaso with the set piece. Scamacca away. Too high for Raspadori. Conceição. Sure, we'll see Yildiz in the second half if Juventus need him to get them through. Kalulu's ball in. To Ketelada behind. Scalvini was suggesting he was pushed. Then Yildiz came off at the Tardini at half-time with a muscle problem. That's why he's not involved from the start this evening. Have a look at this. Edison making a good run. This is all he could do with the cross. Scalvini might have had a case there. Made the most of it, or make a meal of it, which is to his credit. It's Jonathan David. Nice turn. McKennie! What a chance for him. Nearly broke the way of Gatti. Raspadori, meantime. Calmly done. Well, Juventus had a chance there. Another opportunity. Scalvini's throw. Scamacca bringing it down. It's behind Zappacosta. That's naive defending from Cambiaso. Zappacosta also really going anywhere. Now he's given the home side a free kick opportunity. And just lost sight of Zappacosta, but Gatti was on the cover. This was Cambiaso with the quick thinking. Great turn from David. And McKennie, given the form he's been in, should really have scored there. You expected him to. Masconi might be tempted to try and whip this in towards the near post and possibly catch Perin unawares. Ben Masconi with the cross. Cleared only as far as Edison. At least that was the intention. Bremer away. Time and space for Chico Conceição. McKennie and David ahead of the ball. Conceição. Dispossessed by Scalvini. Conceição's gone down very easily. Atalanta can counter with De Ketelada. Well done, Bremer. Scamacca made the run in behind. Locatelli. I don't know whether Spalletti wants Juventus to put the ball out or whether he wants them to keep playing, but Conceição's now back to his feet, hence why there's a chorus of boos here at Bergamo. McKennie rolling his man. It's a goal kick. Honest Ahanor with another good contribution. Well, maybe he was just caught on the big toe. Looks fairly minimal though, the contact. To get a lip read, slow motion Italian, to know what the message there is from the referee. boils down to, I'll make the decisions, I'll make the calls. Bremer needs to be careful. De Ketelaere was hounding in. That's Bernasconi. Here's Charles De Ketelaere. Taking the throw in quickly. Raspadori. Easy for Gatti. Again, they've bypassed the Atalanta midfield here. David. Conceição. Mamo Locatelli. Around. Unable to control. Spalletti does not look impressed. Scalini pinching plenty of yards there up the touchline. Foul throw. Wonders never cease. Well done, Michael Fabry. Don't know whether he necessarily consulted with the fourth official or the assistant for that particular decision. The assistant on this near side is Filippo Bercini. Got Andrea Zingarelli on the opposite side. Locatelli came off De Ketelaere and stayed in play, at least initially. Locatelli, Kenny's layoff. He felt he was caught. Juventus have won it back. Conceição, Gatti pouring forward, but Kenny now getting up. Conceição. Atalanta getting all 11 men behind the ball. Locatelli. Here's Kalulu. Now start to hear from the 1,300 Bianconeri fans, a chorus of Juve coming from the away section. Locatelli, McKennie, puts around. Bremer. Conceição now. It looks like he can make something happen for Juventus this evening with no Yildiz. Locatelli. Who's becoming more persistent. Locatelli, McKennie's touch for Gatti. And here's Conceição. Then Mascoli did well. It's a corner.
Corner.
Conceição's corner. Bounced awkwardly in the 6-yard box. Bremer away by Edison. Pierre Kalulu. In early by Conceição. Jim City away. Flag is up for offside. Maybe even a push. Bremer and Gatti both the wrong side of the last defender as Bremer in particular challenged for the ball. Any concerns, Spalletti? This is a real opportunity for a trophy. It's a short route to a piece of silverware. Top 8 seeds begin in the round of 16. It's You need to technically win a handful of matches to claim the trophy. Bremer put enough on it to find Perin. He finds touch. Came in for a bit of flack recently, Mattia Perin, because some ludicrous suggestions that he didn't do enough to stop Luca Mazzitelli's shot for Cagliari's winner. Recent defeat in Sardinia. Perin did, however, keep a clean sheet, the goalless draw at Monaco match day at the Champions League. Gatti. Kalulu scored here last season for Juventus. Locatelli. Now McKinney for Cambiaso. It's nice one-touch football. Cambiaso. David. Thuram up against the Atalanta. Defending from the Belgian. The long throw. Thuram got up early. It's run here for David. Trying to improvise and find Bremer. The Atalanta with the flick on. Jacques Raspadori. Gatti got enough for the ball. Raspadori's down hurt though. And a lot of discomfort from the looks of things. Conceição taking on Bernasconi. Portuguese winger last. However, David could have tried the overhead kick himself, maybe gone for goal. City away, it's Gamaka straight to Cambiaso. McKinney, Conceição, and now David. Here he is again. Locatelli. Piercing pass. Jim City there to intercept. Now Ederson. Scamacca. Time and space for De Ketelade. Raspadori getting forward. That could have run for someone in black and blue. Conceição away from Ahanor. Mindero. Locatelli. Cambiaso, loose touch from him. Fouled there by Scalvini as we move into the final minute of the first half. It's a slightly misleading scoreline this because Perin hasn't had a save to make. Atalanta took the lead through a penalty which came out of nowhere. All the players and both coaches off guard. Conceição's hit the bar. He's been denied by Carnesecchi in a 1v1. So Juventus might feel slightly aggrieved, but this sport is all about putting the ball in the back of the net. So for Atalanta have done that once, and Juventus haven't managed to. Kelly. Cambiaso taking on Zappacosta. Here's Lloyd Kelly again. 2 added minutes, mainly to allow for the break in play whilst Michael Fabry came across to the pitch side monitor, the lead up to the penalty. Thuram. McKennie wanted it to feed, the Frenchman didn't spot him. Locatelli, on by David, Gatti. This is Conceição. looking for space to shift it. Conceição. Bernasconi stopped the cross. Kalulu. Bremer. Locatelli away from Tyrone. Still Locatelli. He was caught by Scamacca. There'll be lots of candidates to take this set piece. Manuel Locatelli, much closer to his best since Spalletti's come in and under previous coaches with Juventus. Using his good footballing brain. Some lovely first touches out of traffic into space, and there, knew that Scamacca was trying to commit the challenge. A couple of players with Sassuolo on their CVs. Locatelli, having won the free kick, has decided to pull rank. He also is the skipper, lest we forget. The alternative is Cambiaso. He's only scored once this season. Locatelli wide of the post. Siki had it covered quite clearly. Atalanta are doing what they need to in this cup quarter-final. Scamacca's penalty midway through the first half is what separates the two sides. Must have a winner tonight. So far, a likelier side heading through to the semi-finals. Aladea, still plenty to come in the second half, you suspect. At the break, Atalanta 1, Juventus 0. Proud to present Coppa Italia Quarter-Final.
Half time.
Atalanta Juventus in this Coppa Italia quarter-final. Inside the first 10 seconds, Juventus nearly scored. Locatelli for Conceição. Difference around with a late run through the middle, and Hadi connected properly. I've been talking about one of the fastest goals of the season. Certainly creative from the visitors. Hadi connected. Conceição nearly scored here from McKennie's long throw. Misjudged by Ahanor. Conceição too strong. Stepped away from Ahanor, and Kadmiseki made himself big. Conceição could have easily squared it to Kefren Turam. And moments later, Conceição went even closer, stepping past Bernasconi, striking it well, but catching the crossbar with Kadmiseki beat. It remained 0-0. Juventus brewing some missed opportunities, and this was the moment that changed the game. Edison released in the channel, his ball back into the middle. No one appealed for a penalty. Brushed Bremer's fist on the way through, and Michael Fabri, following an on-field review, awarded a penalty to Ladea. Skaraka stepped up, Gili converted the spot kick, and Atalanta had the lead just before the half-hour mark. 9th of the season across all comps for Gianluca Scamacca. Juventus would have another opportunity here. Cambiaso's ball in. Bremer, who was unmarked, couldn't hit the target. That's why Palladino's side lead by a goal to nil at the break.
Lega Serie A in Italia are proud to present Coppa Italia Quarter-Final.
For the second half, 5 minutes remaining. 4 minutes remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Let's go. Players are coming in, ready for the second half. Let's go. Atalanta players are also coming back to the pitch for the second half. New Balance Arena.
Skamaka, the man whose first half penalty is what separates Atalanta and Juventus in this Coppa Italia quarter-final, the second quarter-final after Inter made it safely through, beating Torino last night into the semi-finals. It was played in Monza. We saw Palladino and Di Gregorio having a chat on opposite sides this evening, but previously worked together with Monza. Atalanta are 45 minutes away from setting up a semi-final against either Bologna or Lazio. Know the identity of their opponents until next week. Once the two sides have met on Wednesday at the Dalan, on Tuesday it's the turn of Napoli against throws, albeit for Napoli. It was for Spalletti's side, not against them. Bernasconi came off Kalulu, Locatelli. Conceição dispossessed by Raspadori. No changes to either side at the start of the second half, so it's same 22 that began the match. Giorgio Scalvini. Zappacosta under pressure. Cleared away by Carnesecchi. Gatti. Kalulu. Should be easy for Dero. He's given it to Gatti. Chip City gets the loose ball first. Diketerada drifts in and out of matches. He's found Edison here. Edison, who won the penalty. Edison taking on to Ram. Diketerada. Zappacosta finds Scalvini. Zappacosta, Scalvini, now to Ketelada. Trying to run away from Cambias. Conceição will keep it in play. Kamaldeen Sulemana warming up there. So we've got a couple of goals for Atalanta, but one of them did come against Juventus in the league. Kalulu away, straight to Dero. Missed by both Thuram and Scamacca. Conceição. A little nudge on his Stahano. Juventus 15 times winners of the Coppa Italia, 7 times runners-up as well. Such an impressive record. Atalanta only ever won it once, 1962-63, but 5 times they've been beaten in the final, including 3 times in the last 7 years. 2 in the last 5 when Juventus got the better of them. Gasperini going so close. He did ultimately claim silverware with the Europa League. Couldn't get it done domestically. Ahanor's throw. Easy for Gatti to bring it down. Kalulu away. Now David allowed to turn. McKennie in the channel. Releasing Conceição. Ahanor's after him. Conceição away from Ahanor, but not Edison. Wes McKennie ran into the Brazilian. Conceição. Raspadori helping out defensively. The team spirit from Atalanta. Scamacca too strong for Bremen. Sooner or later there might be a card. Kelly had to be quick with Ketelada behind him. Small shove in the small of the back. Edison has an issue. Rumours are he'll be leaving the club in the summer. Typically sell 1 big player per season, sometimes per transfer windows. We've seen with Retegui and then Lukman. This is how Edison hurts himself. Flying into challenges. Shake of the head means it might be the end of his night. Unless it's just a knock that he can run off. That magic spray will no doubt help numb the pain. Gatti behind McKennie, away by Jim City. Scamacca. Rolling away from Gatti. David with some good defensive cover. This game is a lot more than goals, the Canada international. Kelly. Well, he gave Zappacosta the chance to pitch it there. Zappacosta didn't realise he could initially. Zappacosta stepping past Bremer. Only Rasmatori in the middle. Zappacosta. Kelly has to concede a corner, and that's brilliant from Davide Zappacosta. That's what he's been doing throughout his career. And Bergamaschi bouncing. Bernasconi, short for Raspadori. In by Bernasconi, David away. Raspadori, confident pass to find Scalvini. To Ketelare. Locatelli wins it back. Atalanta last season lost here against the team that went on to win the competition, Bologna. McKennie, Juventus have plenty forward here. Cambiaso keeps it in play. Cambiaso. Well done, Carnesecchi clawing it away. Raspadori finds safety. Gatti keeps it in play. Gets a word of encouragement from Spalletti. Conceição. Delivering the ball too close to the goalkeeper. As for Juventus, they had that shock exit at this stage of the competition last season. Both of these teams went out at the quarter-final stage. Juventus were beaten at home on penalties by Empoli. Zappacosta waits for support to arrive. Zappacosta. Now Juventus have got numbers behind the ball. Finally releases to Ketelare. Scamacca waits by the penalty spot. Zappacosta. To Ketelare. Scalvini joining in. That spotted Zappacosta in a pocket of space, just couldn't quite find him. Matches for Juventus on the horizon. David for Kalulu. Bernasconi tracking in. Kalulu. This is McKennie. Back to Pierre Kalulu. And rather than go for goal himself, he looked for Jonathan David. Benachim City with some fine defending. Pierre Kalulu scored at that end of the ground here. Last season. Against Gatti. Conceição wants to drop the shoulder and dart back inside. Bremer. Kelly. Locatelli. Into David, he's brought it down. Edison didn't know too much about the clearance. He looks okay, the Brazilian. He's going to continue for the moment. Locatelli. Calmly done by Kelly. Cambiaso. much does Yildiz have in him tonight? Thuram for Gatti. Stepped away well and struck it early. Here's Locatelli. Given away to Scalvini. De Ketelaere. Giorgio Scalvini. De Ketelaere again. Lovely 1-2 on a couple of occasions. But Bremer had an intelligent starting position. That's what Scalvini has been doing ever since he burst onto the scene as a 17-year-old. Cambiaso. Conceição. Atalanta doing some defending. They have a lead to protect. Locatelli's ball over the top. Cambiaso felt he was being pulled back by Giroud. Michael Fabri saw nothing wrong with the challenge. I'm sure this will be referred. It has to be a clear and obvious error, but the referee was well placed to see the challenge. Locatelli spotting Cambiaso. He had got ahead of Giroud with his arms around his back, and just whether he pulled him over, that's the question. It is a contact sport. You're allowed to touch your opponent. Was Edison being brave? Just here, Kalulu a little too casual. Bremer away. So we approach the hour mark in Bergamo. McKennie wins the header. Scalvini pushed David. Cabal warming up. Yildiz clearly feels okay. He had trained separately much of this week. That's why he's not involved from the start. Locatelli. Giroud won the header. Raspadori now. From Raspadori. Zappacosta. Locatelli leading from the front. That's where he wanted some support in the press. David couldn't win the header. Cambiaso. Now it's with Kefren Thuram. City took the ball and needed to as well. Edison. Tripped by David. Juventus' next game in the league at home to Lazio. Potential banana skin. Lazio aren't having a great season, but they can be dangerous opponents. Then it's the Derby d'Italia, away at Inter, before they go to Istanbul to take on Galatasaray, the first leg of that playoff. Before they then host Como, and then entertain Galatasaray for the return leg. He's up against his former club Cremonese next. Games here at the weekend. And Atalanta go to Rome to take on Lazio. So both sides play the Giacomo Celesti in the near future. It's handball by Conceição. One of these could play Lazio if they can knock out the holders of the cup next week. Once Atalanta have gone to Rome, where he is the coach. Go to Germany first to take on Dortmund. And it's Atalanta Napoli here towards the end of February before Dortmund come to Bergamo. We hope we still have 3 teams in the Champions League come the round of 16 stage. Raspadori's free kick. Ahanor trying to win the header. Cambiaso away. This is Scalvini. He can deliver from there. Scalvini Behind De Ketelada, Davide Zappacosta. De Ketelada. Mascoli, Mahanor, tripped by Locatelli. Atalanta have been really good in recent times under Palladino, including defensively, and he's been very trusting in these young players, Mahanor and Scalvini. Scalvini, not his best work. As you can see, it's teeming down in Bergamo. It's pretty grim in terms of the weather in northern Italy this time of year. Further north, we're hoping for snow in Milan Cortina. Fourth place is far from a lock for Juventus as things stand, only just ahead of Roma in the standings, so they will be targeting silver in the Coppa Italia. They want to go deep in this competition. This is always going to be a tricky game away at Atalanta. Zappacosta's throw on by De Ketelada, straight up in the air by Scalvini. That's Edison and Scamacca. Offside. Time for the new man, Jeremy Boga, once of Atalanta, recruited by Juventus during the winter window. And a couple of seasons here, 4 goals in 47 appearances for Ladea, for the Ivorian. Gatti withdraw, which I assume means Juve are going to a back four. Jeremy Boga was basically on sick leave after a really unsavoury incident for his former club, Nice, outside the training ground after they were beaten by Lorient. Conceição has found Boga. Back he goes for Conceição. Excellent work from Scalvini, but Jeremy Boga nearly had an assist. His first touch for the Bianconeri. Joined on a loan, incidentally, till the end of the season. 4.8 million is the purchase price for the option. Juventus decide to keep him. He and a fellow teammate were insulted, kicked in the groin, spat on. Conceição with the corner, De Ketelada away. Locatelli. Kalulu. Locatelli delivers, David down, here's McKennie. Now Atalanta can counter, Martin De Roon, Raspadori, one back by Campazzo, Boga. Boga was with Sassuolo as well, lots of Nero Verdi alumni out there on the pitch this evening. Especially when you consider Raspadori and Scamacca have reprised their former partnership in Reggio Emilia. Will be here in Bergamo, played 50 matches together. Campazzo with the free kick. Mascoli needed a shout there from his goalkeeper. Not to preoccupare, says Carnesecchi, don't worry about it. Locatelli with the set piece. Scamacca heads it clear. Pretty useful man to have. 6'5" centre forward when you're defending a corner like that. Yeah, Kalulu does have an outside chance, incidentally, of making France's World Cup squad. Didier Deschamps met him just outside the dressing room after Juventus drew at Monaco recently, Stade Louis II. Deschamps, Champions League finalist with Monaco as coach. Juventus promoted back into Serie A out of the second tier following the Calciopoli scandal. Boga, Cambiaso, first time cross from him. David on the half turn. Here's McKennie. Just unable to hit the target. He was looking for the top corner. I wonder whether they'll be watching possible matchup between Canada and the USA in the men's ice hockey, the Winter Olympics. Villanova and Suleiman are on the way. Locatelli didn't get a shout of warm-up. He just realised Scamacca was chasing him down. Locatelli. Driven ball seeking out to Ram, Jim City away. Raspadori missed him and it's run for Bernasconi. Tackle from Locatelli. Here's McKennie. Now Conceição, there's space to drive into. Conceição for Jonathan David. Giorgio Scalvini is there again. Juventus feel they're getting closer to an equaliser. The chances are starting to come now. Ball came from an excellent tackle from the captain. Conceição with the corner, De Ketelare away. Kalulu, Locatelli, Brenner met it. And Kelly heads it wide. Good cross from Jeremy Boga. Didn't need any sort of space at all, just bent it around Dero. Scamacca scored the all-important penalty, just looking like the winner as things stand. There's still 20 minutes plus added time to play. Costa also withdrawn, so Kamaldeen Sulemana will go and play alongside De Ketelare. I think Raspadori will play as centre forward. Villanova will take up his usual position on the right-hand side. Atalanta did beat Juventus here 3-0 en route to the 2019 final when they were beaten by Lazio. Goals from Timothy Castagna along with a brace from Duvan Zapata. Fantasy Emil Holm. Like Boga, new signing. Like Boga, former Atalanta employee. Foul on Raspadori. Kelly. Scalvini away. Derone around the corner. That's De Ketelare for Ederson. Kelly's done well to emerge with the ball. It was fouled by Charles de Ketelare. Comena's on the way. What really happened for him in Turin? Villanova doing the covering defending. That was a risky clearance. Boga will keep it in play. David in the box, along with plenty of colleagues. Boga away from Scalvini. Missed by McKennie. Sulemana collects the loose ball. And he wins the throw. Jeremy Boga causing problems for Atalanta with his pace and ability to take players on. Just gliding past Scalvini there at the end. Wes McKennie didn't see it as Ahanor tried to clear. Tanya Komoli watching on. The booze you're going to hear for Turn Comena's player who issued 3 doctor's notes to force through his move to Turin. David's been taken off. So to Locatelli, so how's that going to change things? Really sure who plays centre forward now for the Bianconeri. It's a debut though for Emil Holm. Now some rather unsavoury chance in the direction of Turn Comena's. I'll spare you the details. Cambiaso. You can be sure that Comena's will be celebrating if he scores. I think he'll be refusing to crow if he finds the net, such as the treatment has been reserved for him. Partly justified as well, given he left on bad terms. Villanova's put it into touch because Giorgio Scalvini has an issue, and this is an all-too-recurring theme in his career. Nikola Krstovic is coming on for Raspadori. I'm sure the change of Kosunu was already planned. Getting some instructions there from Peluso. Krstovic has found a prolific streak under Palladino. Scalvini, consider it's 4.5 years since he made his Serie A debut. He's only played 99 times in the Italian top flight since then, and not because he was a teenager and he was in and out of the side due to footballing reasons. It's been because he's had a very checkered injury record. Cambiaso turning away from Bellanova. McKennie might well be playing as false 9 now, the American. It's a role he's played before. Atalanta just sitting on this lead now, asking the question of Juventus. They're wondering whether the Bianconeri have got what it takes to bring them down. So far they haven't been able to. Only need to score once to force the game to a penalty shootout. No extra time until the semi-finals of the Coppa Italia, which are played over 2 legs with no away goals. Weren't even away goals even when that rule was still in existence, before it was banished by the powers that be at UEFA. Long by Carnesecchi. Cambiaso. Jerome's got there first. De Ketelare. Now Bellanova. Krstovic on the move. Bellanova for Krstovic. And Sulemana! Only seems to score against Juventus. Perhaps
2
a new
0.
lease of life now in Bergamo for Kamaldeen Sulemana, and it might be the goal that sent Slatea into the semis. He scored a much better goal than that in Turin when they met in the league. But Kamaldeen Sulemana arriving at the perfect moment to prod it into the back of the net. Jerome winning it high. And there was all the substitutes involved after that. Bellanova with a gorgeous ball in, missed by Krstovic, but no one was keeping tabs on Kamaldeen Sulemana. Kalulu played it against the Ghanaian, but he got the final touch, and it does mean 2 of his 3 goals for Atalanta come against Juventus. Just as we thought the Bianconeri were closing in on an equaliser, so it seems they'll be bowing out of the competition. Sulemana, that's what we saw at Allianz Stadium. Now he finds De Ketelada. De Ketelada is Krstovic. Shoulder to shoulder with Bremer. Fair challenge. Greater urgency now about Juventus, but all of a sudden they need to score 2 to survive in the cup tie. They'd love another trip to Rome. Spergoaski, 3 times runners-up in recent memory, all under Gasperini. Once against Lazio, twice against Juventus. It looks like they're going to exact some sort of revenge this evening. Kalulu. Komenes. A sub. Atalanta have got their swagger back, keeping the ball with calm. Kosuno is only just really back now in the side after long involvement at the Africa Cup of Nations. Lois Openda and Edon Shagrova, 2 changes that really starkly show just how Juventus have to chase the game in the final 10 minutes. The bar in the first half. Cambiaso for Openda. By Hull, Bernasconi, that's a casual touch. Openda, McKennie for Thuram. Really difficult ball to hit there, it's the wrong option. Openda couldn't keep it in play. Shagrova saying that it hadn't crossed the line, and I think it was an offside decision prior to that. It is a goal kick. Quite sure what Michael Famby was indicating there with that gesture. Spalletti cutting a frustrated figure down in his technical area. Kalulu away. Edison for Krstovic. One by Shagrova. Hull. In that swap deal with João Mario. Ahanor, fine defending from the 17-year-old up against Openda. Cost a small fortune. Komenes, Openda, get dealt with by Ahanor. Clip forward by Karnisicki. Kelly's done okay tonight against the Ketelada. Under pressure, Sulemana tried to win it. Holm struggling. Shagrova keeps it in play. There's that sharp turn we've become familiar with. There's rare occasions we see it. Koopmeiners, Shigrova. Will have a play for a throw-in. Time for Manuel Pasalic. So Atalanta makes way. A popular player with the fan base. There are a few more popular than this man, Manuel Pasalic. Particularly grateful to that end of the ground, the Kurbanot, for their support through his bereavement when he lost his father, Ivan, earlier on this season. Saw him celebrate very emotionally. Found the net here against Torino. Koopmeiners away. Openda, time to bring it down and turn. Turan, excellent. And Openda's on the shoulder here. Openda, still there for him. Ahanor stood tall. Get this boy in the Italy squad as soon as he's of age. 23rd of February, date for your diaries. That's when honest Ahanor can qualify for Italy, when he becomes an adult. Given away to Ben Rasconi. This is Krstaric. Krstaric. Pasalic. Job done for Atalanta. And it is eerily similar to the last time they beat Juventus in a cup quarter-final here. Palladino knows their place is booked in the last four of the Coppa Italia Quarter-Final. And the substitutes doing the damage in the second half. First Sulemana, and then Pasalic. He's always had an eye from the Bianconeri. Werner giving it away. Ben Nasconi's touch found Krstaric, and he just released Pasalic. Clever the way he drove it between the legs of Lloyd Kelly. That's why Perin was unsighted. That's why Perin was unable to do anything about it. And it's a resounding victory at New Balance Arena. Only just come on. No wonder Palladino has a big smile on his face. That'll be one of the first questions post-match. And his inspired change. Edison's giving it away to Koopmeiners, trying to prevent a corner. Keen on salta, Bianconero in. They're not bouncing. Juventus supporter. Kelly under pressure. Like another good cup run for Atalanta. Also 7 goals in just 2 matches. Looking like a pair of clean sheets as well. Pasalic scored in the previous round too. Shigrova. Surely they can't repeat that 4-0 win they had against Juventus last season, can they? It was in March. Retegui, Deron, Zappacosta and Lukman the scorers tonight. Scamacca, Sulemana and Pasalic. Mendes with the ball forward. It's gone out for a throw-in. No chance now, surely, for Juventus. 3 down with only 3 minutes to play. Mendes made that move, and yet Atalanta finished above Juventus in the league last season. Now he's back in Bergamo. And they're on the receiving end of a pretty heavy defeat. I think Gregorio can't even bear to watch. It's the first time really under Spalletti that they've been on the receiving end of such a heavy scoreline. Kelly was trying to make the block. Players can deliberately try and strike the ball through an opponent's leg when they stick out a leg to try and make a block, but that was Palladino. He need not sweat over the result any longer. Antonio Percassi will be on for Kirstove. There might well be scope to grab it, because Juventus have to pull forward. Kosuna's won it back. Now it's Edison. Sulemana. Nice step from Bernasconi. It's lost out there to Kefren Turam. Boga in space. Turam. Easy from Kosunu. Boga wanted it to feed, not into space. Kelly. Very technical. As shown there. Turam, better ball. Openda running in behind. Openda, corner. Kenan Yildiz couldn't help out this evening. I'm sure we'll see him against Lazio on the weekend. Sunday night, that game. Openda timed his run perfectly there. Here comes the cross. Bremer got a touch to it. Get there ahead of Gym City. Lois Openda, Bremer again. So we approach added time. Mendes. Don't need me to name check him tonight. The Blues will do that for you. Kalulu. Tossed in by Mendes. Holm couldn't get there. Shagrova. Shagrova delivers. Too high for Pierre Kalulu. We're into 3 added minutes at the end of this game. What a wonderful scene that is in Bergamo. Palladino will be an extremely happy man. Kelly wins the header. Dirol. Kepster, it's just lent into Bremer there. Scamacca's goal sent them on their way. Chat with his old mate, Raspadori. Actually colleagues as well. Turam having to hit Hollywood passes now. Have run out of ideas. Monaco stopped them from scoring, so too did Cagliari. Bit of a flaw perhaps at times in their game. They can't find the net. Conceded 3 tonight as well. Those defeats under Spalletti hadn't been heavy ones either. Beaten to it by Ahanor. Turam has a go, straight at the goalkeeper. At no stage, Juventus has been on the receiving end of 3-goal deficit under Luciano Spalletti. So just the league and the Champions League to play for now. foul by Ahanor. Holm heads it clear. Shigrova. Comenes. Kelly. Kalulu's ball over the top. Openda away from Ahanor. Difficult shot to control from there. That will be that, surely. It's another very good night in the Coppa Italia Frecciarossa for Atalanta. 3 goals without reply against Juventus as they put their place in the semi-final. Scamacca with the first half penalty, second half goals from substitutes Sulemana and Pasalic. Atalanta will now go through to play the winners of either Bologna or Lazio who play next week. Juventus missing some first half opportunities, but they were at their best tonight. Can Atalanta finally one better than those 3 recent final defeats in this competition? It ends in Bergamo with a resounding victory. Atalanta 3, Juventus 0. to Juventus in this Coppa Italia Quarter-Final. Juventus had a big chance early on. McKinney's long throw reached Chico Conceição. There was Carnesecchi to make himself big and keep it out after Ahanor had been outpaced by the Portuguese. Another chance here for Conceição away from Ben Mascani. Struck it beautifully, but it rattled the crossbar and stayed out. Carnesecchi wasn't getting there. This is when the game changed. Edison flicking it back inside. It brushed Bremer on the way through. No appeals for a penalty. But Michael Fabry reviewing the footage and awarding a spot kick away of Atalanta for handball by Bremer. Scamacca Julie dispatched the penalty past Perin, and on 27 minutes, Atalanta in the lead. The first real opportunity. They would have more in the second half. Bellanova finding substitute. Kamaldeen Sulemana, only his third goal for Atalanta. Two of them have come against Juventus. And there was also time for a third from another substitute. Krstovic playing in Pasalic. He struck it through the legs of Kelly and into the corner. Atalanta now with 7 goals for and none against in the Coppa Italia. They're through to the semi-finals to play either Bologna or Lazio.
Yo, my good people, it's over for tonight. It's over. We've enjoyed. I was supporting tonight Juventus, but unfortunately, Atalanta was better than Juventus Turin, man. I'm disappointed with Juventus, but it happens, man. It happens, bro, man. So, for tonight, I'm gonna say it's over. See you tomorrow. I say tomorrow, today. Leeds versus Nottingham Forest. It's gonna be a big game, man. Lock in. Gonna meet at exactly 11 p.m. Kenyan time, and what can I say? 23 hours. Not 23. 8 p.m. UK time. I'll be here online. Make sure you like and subscribe, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss today's action. Leeds versus Nottingham Forest. Gonna enjoy the watch along here with the gang. Okay? It's your boy Pankey IBFLB. Have a good night, man. See you today sometime, man. See you at the Leeds versus Nottingham watch along party here on YouTube, man. Let's go. Make sure you sub, man. Make sure you like and hit that subscribe button, man. All right. Once again, man, make sure you like and subscribe, man. See you at the Leeds versus Nottingham Forest live on this channel, man. Make sure you sub up and watch my videos, man. See you some other time, man. Have a good night and best of luck in whatever you're doing, man. Out, man. It's your boy once again, Pankey IBFLB. Big up to everyone who has enjoyed the stream, man. I'm out. See you some other time, man. Peace. Sleep well, man. And God bless you all, man. I'm out. Once again, I'm out. Atalanta. Big up to every Atalanta fan who is watching right now, man. I'm disappointed with Juventus. Fake team. Let me get some sleep, man. I'm out. Bye-bye.